The Milwaukee Bucks have made some significant upgrades with the moves that they were able to go ahead and make because they were very limited based on their cap situation, and somehow, some way, the moves that they made were actually pretty good. At first, I was questioning them, but low-key looking at them for like the things that they were able to do because of the cap situation, the way that they couldn't really trade anyone, they actually made some insane moves. And I'm telling you guys right now, this Bucks team going into next year is not going to be the same Milwaukee Bucks team. This is going to be a whole new team, whole new mojo. You guys are not going to believe it. And I think the thing that makes it even better and even sweeter is this Bucks team's under the radar. I see countless rankings. Milwaukee Bucks are going to be 5th in the East, 6th in the East. They're not going to win 50 games. They're going to be at bottom of the barrel in the Eastern Conference and make playoffs. They're barely going to make playoffs. Nah, I've heard enough of it. This is going to be my video explaining all the new upgrades and what I believe the Milwaukee Bucks will do next season, because I'm tired of the disrespect of them being under the radar. But you know what? I actually kind of like them being under the radar, because that's just going to show that we're going to go in and we're going to go ahead and prove everyone wrong. So before I get into the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Comment what you guys think about the video. All my socials in the description. Let's get straight into the dang video. All right, to start off the video, we might as well go ahead and talk about, all the off-season moves that the Bucks went ahead and made, because, they weren't able to go ahead and trade anyone. There was rumors talking about Brook Lopez was going to get traded around the draft time. Rumors that they were going to try to move on from Pat Cottington, Bobby Portis getting moved. Those 3 players, Brook, Bobby, and Pat, you guys are still here. Now, me personally, Pat Cottington, I'm kind of mad you're still on my basketball team. I'm not going to lie to you, because let's just say I'm not your biggest fan at the stage of your career that you're currently at, because, after that finals run, you just ain't been the same, and you don't need to get any minutes anymore, dog. I'm sorry. And Brook, well, I was Brook's D1 hater in the start of the offseason. D1 hater. I was hating on this man. He was slow. Bobby was out rebounding him. I'm like, guys, we need a new center. Brook is too slow. But now I'm looking at it like, well, I still think all those things are true about Brook. He's getting out rebounded by Bobby. He's very slow. He's a liability. But you know what? I think Horst really didn't have a choice. When you look at it, based on the way the draft went, there was a guy that Miami drafted. I forgot his name. I think his last name was Ware. But the guy who Miami drafted in the first round, that's who I really, really wanted us to take in the first round. And we didn't, which I felt like a gunshot to the chest when Miami drafted them. But I really think Horst looked at the situation and was like, well, what better replacement out there is there? Because I thought about, oh, we could just run Giannis at center the whole season. But then more and more people started talking about, they said that wouldn't be good on his body, especially how we need him to stay healthy throughout the year. So I was like, okay, you know what? I understand that. So maybe looking at it then, it wasn't a good idea to go ahead and trade Brook, and they're just gonna have to really thug it out with Brook Lopez at center. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about, all the offseason moves and all the people that they went ahead and brought in. I just want to mention my boy Thanasis Antetokounmpo, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You are our D1 cheerleader, and I'm gonna miss you, dog. Can we just put a graphic up real quick? That ass is out to the Kupo, dog. We gonna miss you. But you know what? I bet you'll still be with the team all the time, and he's still gonna be the D1 cheerleader, bro. He's still gonna be on there hyping this team up, hyping Giannis up, so I'm not completely worried about it. But in all seriousness, let's talk about the real moves that the Bucks made this offseason, because they brought in 3 key players that I feel like are gonna be very, very important to this team. So for our first move, we went ahead and brought on Delon Wright. Now, for some reason, this might seem like a kind of a mid move. You're just bringing in a guy, but actually, this is a smart idea. All right, we're bringing this guy in on a veteran's minimum. Yes, he's kind of up there in age, but this guy can actually be a pretty good backup point guard for us. Now, I'm not saying necessarily has to go out there average points like Dame, go out there average 10 points a game. No, he don't got to do all that, but you know what he needs to do, and you know what he's best at? Play some defense, get some steals, get some energy on this defense, because that's what he's best at, getting steals, playing defense. He can go ahead and get a lot of turnovers for this Milwaukee Bucks team that this defense needs, because this defense struggled so badly last season, especially the bench unit. The bench unit when defense was god-awful last year. Hopefully, this is going to definitely go ahead and improve it. So this was also a great pickup, and it was a good thing we got him on a vet minimum as well, because, we didn't have a lot of money to spend. And then we go ahead and bring in Mr. Prince from the Lakers. Now, I think a lot of stuff that had to do with this move had to have been Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham played this guy a ton when he was with the Lakers last year. So I genuinely think Darvin Ham had something to do with this move. And then, of course, we brought in Darvin Ham again to be an assistant, which I do not hate as a move. I think Darvin Ham is a good assistant head coach. I think he's actually good in the assistant role, but do not put this man as head coach. Don't do it. Also, what he did with the Lakers, do not do it. But honestly, I feel like this move has something to do with Ham, which it probably does. Now, Mr. Prince is actually another great player. He averaged 8 points for the Lakers last year, but a huge thing that was huge for the Lakers last year is this man averaged, his 3-point percentage was 39.6. That is huge. The Bucks need more 3-point shooting. That helps them so much, because besides Dame, we don't got a lot of 3-point shooting on this team. It's like Dame, AJ Green, Brook Lopez, heads sometimes. I mean, sometimes bobbies can hit some, but that's it. The Bucks do not have a lot of three-point shooting. And Chris, I can't forget Chris, of course, but I think that's another reason why, because like I said, the Bucks have no money. They had no money to spend, but they went ahead, brought in two guys. They brought in a guy who can steal the ball well, play some defense, and they brought in a great three-point shooter from the Lakers. This guy is not going to need to start whatsoever. He can go ahead and come off the bench, play a few minutes, hopefully knock some threes down, be like a way less Malik Beasley kind of, in a way. If you kind of get what I'm trying to say, is like he's going to come in, knock down some threes, and not be in the game as long as Beasley was, because we brought in another guy, and I don't know how on earth we got this deal done, but we got the deal done. And this is the key thing of the offseason. This is like the biggest move that we did, and God bless John Horse, he did it, man. All offseason I've been talking about Gary Trent Jr. I've wanted the Bucks to bring in Gary Trent Jr. He's a great three-point shooter. He can also get some steals. He's great at defense. Like I said, he's a 3-and-D guy that the Milwaukee Bucks need, and they went ahead and brought him in, and they got him in on a veteran's minimum. Gary Trent Jr., guys, from the Toronto Raptors, who averaged 13 points per game, shot 42% from the field, and his three-point percentage was also 39% last year. Same thing as Prince. We got him on a veteran's minimum. That is such an insane steal. Such an insane steal. I cannot tell you guys how much I actually love Gary Trent Jr. as a player. This guy is basically gonna be the Malik Beasley, but just way better. He's way younger. He's gonna be better in that role. I'm telling you guys, this is such a solid move that the Bucks made, and I feel like it really isn't talked about enough. People be like, oh, Gary Trent, you know, it's Gary Trent, you know, he's a good bench player, but nah, couldn't turn down playing with Dame. I gotta give a shout out to Dame, man, because him and Dame were teammates, and I'm pretty certain that's what went ahead and happened, why Gary Trent is on this team, because Dame, man, I gotta give huge props to him, huge shout out to him. Dame, you done did miracles on us. These three moves right here are very underrated, and honestly for the Bucks, I give them an A- with these moves, because like I said, they didn't bring in a huge piece. They didn't do what they did last offseason, brought in a huge superstar. They weren't able to do anything like that. They didn't trade Brooke, they didn't trade Pat. Somehow, some way they made it work, and I'm very proud of that, and these upgrades need to be talked about. But this ain't the only thing that's changing about this team. There's still some more. So the starting lineup's obviously going to be different next year. Instead of Malik Beasley, we're going to have Gary Trent in that spot, at that shooting guard spot, which is a huge upgrade. I already talked about it. So for now, the starting lineup's going to be Damian Lillard, Gary Trent Jr., Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. Now, this isn't a guarantee. I don't think the team came out and said it, but I guarantee you Gary Trent Jr. is going to be the starter. Like, there's no way that he isn't going to be. If I see Pat Cottington as my starting shooting guard, yeah, Doc Rivers, we're going to need to have a conversation, buddy. Also, some other changes that are coming with this team is Damian Lillard had a full season now to go ahead and work out. Last season, apparently he didn't work out because he was scared of getting hurt, because he knew a trade was coming. So Dame hopefully is going to be in shape this season, which we're really going to need, because we saw last year Dame didn't have his best season compared to the season that he had before that, which I think Damian Lillard's going to go ahead and come back, be the same Damian Lillard that it once used to be, because I don't think his man fell off yet. He's too good to fall off this early. I feel like he's still got some left in the tank. And then, of course, this is another full year, full offseason in the Doc Rivers system. I've already talked about it on this channel. I am not a fan of Doc Rivers whatsoever. I do not like him. He's a choke artist. He only has one ring to himself, that 08 team that I guarantee you carried him, of Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and all those people. I guarantee you got carried to it. But it's what we got to work with. We don't got no other choice. So we're going to have to get over Doc Rivers, you know, just get over his curse, or whatever you want to call it. His mockery. I don't even know how you explain what Doc Rivers is, because like year after year, he chokes and chokes it year after year. And it's so frustrating to have and just deal with every year. So a full year in this system, hopefully everything is better. Giannis, I guarantee you next year, Giannis is coming with vengeance. Last year, he came with vengeance. I made a whole video breaking down Giannis. Next year, he's coming with vengeance again. He averaged 30 points on 60% field goal shooting. Most efficient 30-point per game season ever, and no one talking about it yet. He about to average 35 and on the most efficient again, because the disrespect is crazy. Ain't nobody talking about it. So I think Giannis and Dame, they're going to be upgraded next season. Giannis, of course, is going to play out at the same level. I think Dame will definitely improve next season. Chris is going to do his thing. I hope he doesn't get injured. He got surgery on both his ankles, so hopefully that goes ahead and helps him play and help him not be hurt, because these injuries throughout the season is another thing. We don't have a lot of time. We got to build this chemistry up during the regular season, so in the playoffs everything is good. And then we got to talk about some of the youngins. Marjan, man, the time might be ticking with you, because now we got some new youngins coming in, and you still aren't getting playing time, and we know how much Doc doesn't like playing young players. So Marjan, yeah, Doc, I really don't know what to do with you. Ajax, I guarantee you, you're getting minutes this year, because you actually really balled out and looked like a great defensive piece last year, and I really think you can be one of the stooges on this team. You can be one of the people coming off the bench to bring this team that energy that we need, that defensive energy. AJ Green is going to take Pat Connaughton's role. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but definitely next year. AJ Green is going to go in that spot that Pat Connaughton is. He's going to be that shooter, comes off the bench, and he can go ahead, you know, give you a couple points. That's what AJ Green, and that's what I hope he becomes, but hopefully better. And then the guys we went ahead and drafted this year, AJ Johnson. When I first made the pick, I was furious because I'm like, what are we taking a point guard for that's like super young and didn't play a lot in his professional Australian league? What are we doing? But after watching the summer league, yeah, he could be something in the future. I know Dame's getting up there in age. It's probably a pick for the, you know, the future. And then Tyler Smith, we got another 3-and-D guy. I don't know if he's going to get much minutes this year, but you know, I hope to see him on the court because he looked kind of good in summer league. I just hope I see some of the young players because I don't know how much Doc loves playing them, but I definitely think this Milwaukee Bucks team is for sure upgraded from last year, because last year, don't even get me started on that Pacers loss, dog. Last season was chaos. It was a mess. It was just destruction. But you know what? We're back. We got some new upgrades. Giannis is underrated. We're under the radar. Ain't nobody talking about us whatsoever. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the video explaining all the new upgrades for the Milwaukee Bucks. I will see you guys in mid-season. I'll probably make another video on the Bucks, or if the Bucks start really hot, I'll make a video on them, but probably won't make another one before the season starts. So if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the future, and be prepared. The football season's about to start, man, so you know the content about to be pumping out. I'll see y'all then.